everyone, welcome back to the LAC show. Today we have three professionals here to talk about cultural diversity. First, let's welcome Rex.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Rex, and it's great to be on the show. I'm a professor from the LAC University of the Hotel Management subject, and today I will share with you my professional knowledge about the diversity management. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Beth and I'm the Human Resource Director from the hotel, and I will use my industry knowledge to analyze the following films later.
Hello everyone, my name is Eileen. I'm a scholar who currently studies the diversity management in LAC University.
Thank you. Before we look at the VCR, please allow me to tell you a little bit about what we are talking about today and what we are going to do. First, critically evaluate the theories and concepts associated with managing cultural diversity in a service sector workplace. Second, analyze and evaluate appropriate leadership styles to leverage workforce diversity in order to gain a competitive advantage in the service sector. We believe that many audiences are still unfamiliar with our topic. So before we start, let me explain some terms to you that will be discussed later. First, cultural diversity in workplace. Cultural diversity is when population differences are well presented within a community, include race, age, ability, language, nationality, socioeconomic status, gender, religion, or sexual orientation, based on Kundu 2001. Second, diversity management. Diversity management is much more than just a multicultural issue. It is about embracing many different types of people who stand for different things and represent different cultures, generations, ideas, and thinking. Third, diversity leadership. Diversity leadership addresses how leaders at all ranks and organizations level shape the impact of diversity dynamics in the forces under their command. So let's take the first video.
Yes, I think for this project we should work together.
Sorry, but I want to do by myself. Sorry.
Okay. Yili?
Yes?
I was a little bit confused about this question.
Sorry, I think we should do it separately. Yeah.
Yili, I still think we should work together. Hello, manager.
Hi, Eileen.
Guys, we still have 5 more works to do, and Friday is the deadline. Today is Wednesday, so hurry up.
No, it's too difficult. I can only do one thing at one time.
Yes, I love multitasking. Okay, Ms. Beth, I would like to ask what causes cultural diversity and the impact of that.
And according to the Harris and Kumra, there are 3 drivers of cultural diversity. First is a labor imperative. A diverse company will have a better understanding of the foreign market and have a wider access to a larger market. The organization will not limit itself to the domestic market. Second is societal expectation. For example, diversity in the workplace will allow the organization to innovate from the past norms and acquire more perspective on a specific issue. It will help the organization to emerge with new ideas. And the last one is business case. The organization will also be more flexible, which means that the organization will be able to adapt faster with the changes. The organization will be able to have a better framework ready for environmental changes.
Okay, then how can the cultural diversity be acknowledged or measured?
Until now, there are at least 6 models about culture being widely cited. Each model has different aspects of societal beliefs. Hofstede 1980 is a foundation which is the most widely used model, talking about the cultural differences can be distinguished based on their value differences. Then Hall 1990 also created a model which focuses on how culture differs in communication of human beings. Trumpener's 1993 then present a model focused on the variation in both values and relationships among cultures. She was 1994 then identified 10 universal human values, which reflect needs, social motives, and social institutional demands. They can all be found in all cultures to represent universal needs of human existence. They are all being acknowledged, but in different kinds of dimension of needs.
The diversity continuum, there is also confusion in the literature between the two phenomena. As individuals find themselves in situations with diverse individuals, they are likely to take one of the 2 courses of action. Avoid dealing with the diversity or recognizing that the diversity exists. The three sequential components of the diversity continuum are acknowledging diversity, valuing diversity, and managing diversity. Acknowledging diversity refers to the recognizing the existence of diversity or the individual differences individuals bring with them with a particular setting. Then they have to expose to it, experience it, acquire knowledge about it, and they must develop an understanding of diversity. The theories used above can also show that cultural diversity is being acknowledged. It has academically recognized that diversity is a phenomenon that can influence a lot. For example, gender, nationality, religion, functional expertise, and age has been widely accepted. Even though the gender diversity tends to receive the majority of the attention in the organizational diversity literature, it is also suitable for all organizations. Valuing and managing are most being considered, sometimes are interchangeable when in fact they are two different phenomena. Valuing refers to the relative worth, importance, or significance of something, whereas managing refers to taking charge or coordinating and supervising situations. Valuing diversity should be considered a more passive phenomenon. Managing refers to successfully organizing the organizational inputs of individuals with diverse backgrounds. Follow the step of advance from the initial passive state of managing diversity on the diversity continuum, according to the Friday, and systematically manage diversity using the steps managing diversity process. It has been purported that if diversity can be effectively managed in an organization, some potential benefits will appear like greater creativity, innovation, and improved decision making. The organization will be able to recognize socially accepted values universally and will lessen discrimination within the organization. Thus, the organization will be able to avoid conflicts. Similar systemic efforts are necessary in order to manage.
Okay, thank you, Beth. Lynn, we saw that the staffs were not happy about their manager manage. So to your view, do you think the diversity management have the influence on leadership or not, and how?
Yeah, I think the impact is inevitable. The perception of leadership vary considerably from culture to culture. So cultural differences in leadership styles can create unexpected misunderstandings. And I will introduce group study as a very useful source for us to understand diversity management. And the study emphasizes the indispensability of understanding cultural differences, even the nuance. The leader has to be trained to understand and appreciate for distinct cultures. The culturally contingent attributes has different functions to leadership, and here we list these outstanding leadership attributes that are considered as universal in this study, and that can be useful for the future practice of managers. Meanwhile, Aaron Mayer's cultural map also helps us to understand the impact of diversity management on leadership. The cultural map is made up of 8 types of behavior highlighting specific areas. Each is set out like a scale, showing how culture will vary along the spectrum from one extreme behavior to its opposite. Mayer claims that you can improve relationships by considering where you and your partners are in the scale. And take the first scale as an example. The way of communication varies from low content to the high content country. If there is a leader from a low content country with an employee from a high content country, high context societies such as China or Japan, where communications is nuanced and message implied rather than planned expressed, which can lead to confusion. So it means the potential misunderstanding between the communication. So the leader has to be aware of these differences and take action to ease the problem. The actions may be like encouraging members to move towards low context process, like to set ground rules, be explicit, and where possible, put things in writing. So in general, Mayer offers the leaders a way to analyze how their own culture works with employees and finding the relative gaps between them. So it's only by doing this that the similarities and differences will become apparent and any breakdown in communications on trust can be addressed.
Okay, let's continue, and Alim, please analyze for us.
Guys, what do you want to do for team building on weekend?
Play hockey!
No, none of your idea good. We should play mahjong. That's the best culture. Deal.
The ethnocentric approach is to ignore or try to minimize cultural diversity and turn to the mainstream culture, like our way is the best way, and try to minimize the differences and minimize the source and impact of cultural diversity on the organization. If possible, choose a single cultural workforce. So that is bad for the organization. As diversity decreases, problems will diminish, but at the same time, the possibility of creating advantage will be ignored or eliminated.
Guys, for this weekend's team building, let's go for the lamb barbecue.
Okay, yeah. No, but my culture is not allow me to eat lamb.
But we are a team. We should not enlarge the differences.
No, really no. To start colorblindness, it's all about ignoring group differences. By masking group differences, it can create a culture of ignoring real group disparities. In some ways, it seems like a convenient bandage that covers up a problem instead of addressing it. But indeed, some research has shown that the more people endorse colorblindness, the more they actually hinder intergroup prejudice.
Okay, then let's go for the vegetarian because of you.
Yeah, so nice.
Why? Why she's special?
By contrast, multiculturalism is built on the notion that group differences should be celebrated, not ignored. Despite the relative benefits of multiculturalism, there is some evidence to show that multiculturalism can lead to more stereotyping, even though it's associated with overall less prejudice. You are always so indirect, and the way you treat me is so fake. If you have any problem against me, you should just tell me that.
It's not fake, man. This is the culture of our country. But it is you. Yelling is very rude.
Okay, stop fighting, guys. Listen to me. You have to understand each other. You come from different places, different countries. Japanese culture is more implicit than the United States. It has high context. So it means that respect for others does not like to talk to directly. But the United States is a low context that like to express more and express their opinions. So when you get along, everyone has to understand each other.
This approach is considered the most superior and it emphasizes the termination of these possible problems. It advocates the combination of different cultural methods and trains people recognize cultural differences. Organizational members are expected to listen and learn from all culture and use them to create an advantage for the organization.
So, Mr. Rex, as discussed above, to your opinion, how can we make the diversity management more effective?
Yes, Yili, as Ali mentioned, we can know that the synergistic approach is the best among those four. However, only the approach is not enough. As cited by Seaman in 2006, an effective diversity strategy must include 5 elements of Dessler's model in 1998. The first element is that the top management should give encouragement and commitment to the staffs to show good care of leadership. Secondly and thirdly, Dessler considered that a good diversity management should be careful of evaluating, researching, and training. The management should grade the performance of employees by using benchmark and provide enough education and cultivation to them. Moreover, an effective strategy should change in culture and procedures like recruitment, compensation, payments, and promotion. Last but not least, Dessler mentioned continuous improvement is important to the diversity management. The management should be patient and responsible for the following feedback and react to them immediately.
Okay, then, what do you think about the diversity leadership? Can we profit from it or not?
Yes. According to Cox and Blake in 1991, there are 6 areas of value that advantages can be leveraged through effective management. The advantages can be leveraged only with good management of diversity. The first one is cost. If an organization integrates well, they can save more costs than others who don't. The second one is resources acquisition. Rizzi et al. In 2011 stated that effective diversity management helps to attract top talents, brand image, develop reputations, because people can have their own cultural personalities when working. The third one is the marketing. With diversity management, a company might have better understanding of foreign market because employees are familiar with diverse cultures. The fourth is creativity. According to Elder in 2008, different points of view and ideas foster new perspectives and allow for disruptive ideas to emerge, move away from norms of the past. The fifth is the problem solving. According to Cox and Blake, heterogeneity means to have wider views, perspectives, and critical analysis, which helps to make better decisions. The last one is the system flexibility. As cited by Henry and Evans in 2007, Watson et al. In 1993 considered that diversity groups have better and faster accommodation of change, systems and process are less rigid, better react to environmental change. Chicknell in 2018 stated 5 reasons why HR needs to focus on diversity and inclusion. They are quite similar to Cox and Blake's theory, but more industrial. For example, it is considered that the diversity of workplace can boost the brand image when deal great with the social awareness. However, once the management of diversity is bad, there might be disadvantages leveraged. Diverse culture might cause conflict, according to White in 1999. Due to that, people come from different culture. At the very beginning, they might not feel comfortable to the mixed cultural environment, and misunderstanding will hence arise. Besides, bad management of diversity can cause high turnover and low productivity, according to Henry and Evans in 2007. Therefore, there are some suggestions for the organizations to become multicultural. First, listen, respect, and learn from different cultures. You're not required to completely agree with others' cultures, but you should show your respect to others, according to Cox and Blake in 1991. The second, Castillo in 1998 stated that the human resources management decisions like recruitment, selection, and retention should be concerned. The last one is that expansion of the business can help to gain more diverse cultures for the companies, according to Henry and Evans in 2007.
Okay, thank you, Rex, Bess, and Aline. Thank you for sharing. So, in conclusion, we understood that according to Cox and Blake, diversity leadership is vital to the organization, as we discussed. A good management of diversity can leverage the advantages for the companies. To recall today's episode, we talked mostly about the diversity continuum. We acknowledged the cultural diversity through Hofstad's, Host, and other series. And on the value stage, we analyzed the benefits of diversity. Worth to mention, the benefits are based on the good management. Therefore, we need to use synergistic approach with Dazzler 5 elements to manage the diversity effectively. That's all. We hope you can learn from the show and use for practice. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.